If you love what we do here, please consider backing us on Patreon.
Hey guys, if you are watching this, then, well, hopefully you have already seen the most recent community post that I made. At the time of filming this, it is January 12th, which means we are just 3 days out from our day where we can reapply for monetization. So that's very good news. Time has moved fairly quickly here, although I have been hard at work. Before we dive into that, very quickly, just to talk about, if you could watch us on DeviantArt, like us on Facebook. The links for those platforms for our accounts are in the description of this video. We're trying to broaden out our social media following, so if you're using those platforms, we do use them. This last month or so, obviously, things have been a little bit different around here because of the changes I've had to make and whatnot, and how much time I've been allocating in different places. But if you read the most recent community post that I put out, I did talk about the most recent upload that came before this video was episode 260. The Grace episode was re-uploaded. And I mentioned in the community post there will be another video, an old video being re-uploaded here. Grace was the most recent age restriction that we had in 2019 that probably led to our suspension. The year is now 2020, and wouldn't you know it, we've already had another video age restricted in 2020. Was it a new video like Grace? No, it was not. It was this other old KK episode, which was uploaded in the spring of 2017 that has 400,000 views, was retroactively hit with an age restriction. And, you know, if you look at those two episodes, there is definitely a striking similarity between them. And it's something I've been aware of for a while and I've spoken about before. Some certain other videos that have either been age restricted or falsely age restricted. There is a certain theme that YouTube has made very clear that they are staying away from in regards to not only advertisers, but even whether or not the video now is suitable for all audiences. And that is any video that has anything to do with, not necessarily, this doesn't always happen, because we do have some on this channel that are fine. I think it depends on the situation, what's going on. But videos that have to do with, scenes in this case, that have to do with beds or bedrooms, anything having to do with that. I mean, we've never been big on uploading content that has to do with bedrooms anyway. Personally, I'm not interested in it. I know some people in this community are, but that is definitely not the theme of DID or crime fiction. And we do not typically upload videos that have anything to do with beds. However, sometimes in the case of like Grace, where almost every scene the damsel almost in virtually every scene is in a bedroom or on a bed, from the beginning of it to the end of it. And the other new episode I'm going to be uploading also has to do with a bedroom. These type of things do come into play, and you know, moving forward, where am I going to ever highlight scenes again that have to do with these things? It's going to depend on the scene. It's going to depend on the context of the scene. Anybody that is tied to a bed, I would imagine probably never again. And again, most of those scenes I don't have much of an interest in anyway, and I don't consider them to be very good. We've done some scenes in the past like that, but I would say I know of a couple scenes from 2019 where there was someone tied to a bed and it was not done in a sexual way at all, not even close. So those ones could end up coming through here, but for the most part, you won't see scenes like that here anymore. Not that there was ever a lot of them here to begin with, but that's something I've noticed that has a big problem that YouTube is definitely cracking down on. And you know, we have made our adjustments. That is one thing. I feel very good about our chances of being reinstated into the partner program and remonetized. I've made a lot of changes here. It's typically all behind the scenes stuff that you guys can't even see. I mentioned that before, but there was quite a few things that needed cleaned up. I have followed the instructions, as vague as they were, that YouTube did give in order to get back into compliance. I've learned a lot of things, and that will make for another video later once we are reinstated, that I can talk about some things there. This is it's been a learning experience, and a costly one at that. Unfortunately, like I said, we've been on here almost 4 years and a partner since day one, and it's not the fact that they've obviously made some changes. Again, they weren't very clear about the changes, and again, the fact that these old videos in some cases are the ones being hit with the age restrictions, these retroactive claims, things like this. I mean, if I'm not currently violating policies, if it's things that I'm doing right now that aren't bad, they should definitely give you an opportunity to clean up the old trash on your channel and remake it without penalizing you. But, this is going to be a small, costly mistake, and hopefully you guys are able to kind of come through and help out with that. Obviously, we have a lot of great content on the Patreon page. As I mentioned in the post yesterday, I'm going to be re-releasing the remastered version of Forza Crowd. It's a lot of re's. And that's going to be available, a sale for like a $1 pledge through Patreon. Obviously, it comes with any of the live action titles. I'm currently, again, going to be going through and working on remastering all of the other ones as well. Some of you have pledged, for these digital creations and have not. I've told you, I'm working on getting them redone so they're up to a higher quality of standard, so you get your money's worth, and you'll be able to receive those as soon as they're done. One thing I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be sending a video out to people who are past or current patrons, talking to them a little bit about how funding, how we use your funding, and what some ways that you can help us out. I mean, we need everybody's support here, whether we're readmitted into the partner program fully with the monetization or not, because I have big plans to expand this with new projects, with new talent. We're getting up to the level right now where we have that credibility to our name, where I can actually say, hey, we have this customer base, we have this brand, we have this content we're making, I can pay you to be here, but we need the funding to continue to make that more secure. So that is one thing I'm going to be sending out. So let's kind of resum this up. We're going to be reapplying in 3 days from the time I made this, January 15th. The review process, they've said, can take up to a month. So I'm not, like I said, there's some good signs here why I feel very confident. Number one, we were not permanently kicked out of the partner program. YouTube has said, they have said that if something about your channel is, as Jackie from Seinfeld would say, totally egregious. If there's something egregious with your channel, something really bad that is, beyond repair, then you will not be allowed to reapply. So if there was something about us that was so bad, I would not have the ability to reapply. So that's a good sign. I mentioned before, recent spike in age restrictions. I feel like that has to be the culprit. And that is what I've worked to address. I've also tweaked some metadata, removed some videos that were only suitable for limited advertisers, cleaned up the comments section, things like that they didn't even tell me to do. I've went above and beyond. And moving forward, as I said, there will no longer be any age-restricted videos on this channel. Things like that, totally getting cleaned up. So that's a good thing. The fact that we're able to reapply is a positive sign. Another positive sign is the fact that our Google AdSense account was not suspended or anything. It's still in good standing and still active, which means that we did get a paycheck in December for our November earnings. We will be getting a paycheck here in January for our December earnings, albeit half or less than half probably of what they should have been, we're still we still have an account in good standing there. Now, February, we will not be getting a paycheck, I highly doubt, because the odds of us getting back, well, no, we definitely won't be getting one in February. Even if we were to get back in before the end of this month, which is probably unlikely, we would not make more than $100 in revenue, so you can't get a check unless you make at least 100 every month. So it rolls over. So if you had like 90 one month, it would just carry over into the next month. But there's no way we'll get a February check. That is where you guys' donations come in. However, like I said, it's a good sign that we're able to reapply, that our AdSense account is in good standing, that there was nothing so bad about our channel that they said, there's no way you're ever coming back. So that's one reason I feel pretty confident that we will be allowed back in. And I've done more reading. I've learned a little more. It's given me some more confidence. Like I said, I've made all of the necessary changes that I feel within our power to get back into compliance with the monetization policies. So, yeah. So give us a watch on DeviantArt, a like on Facebook. You just saw 260 was uploaded. Look out for the newest re-upload of an old KK episode. Look for the new Forza Crowd video coming. And I am hard at work editing our newest piece of live action content. A lot of you have been asking about that with Miss Anna's debut. Anna and Samantha together are phenomenal. I mean, this is next level stuff. Maybe some other big surprises coming soon as well. But yeah, we didn't end 2019 on the strongest note, although it looked like we were going to until that suspension came in. And we're going to try and right here in the beginning of 2020 get this fixed. Hope you guys had a good New Year and holidays. Like I said in the community post, sorry I have not been as active these last several weeks. Just this whole, when you lose your incentive to work, to be here, to put in that much time, when you have other responsibilities in life and bills to pay, it makes it rough to be able to commit so much time to new content anyway. Like I said, I've been pretty busy with the new live action content as well. And so what you can do, if you pledge $2 on Patreon right now, you will have access to the full version, even extended footage of episode 260, which wasn't on this channel before. The original, I think it's episode 142, will be available to you as well. Also, there's going to be some other videos I took down from this channel that will be available to $2 patrons, as well as even early access to episode 169, I believe. Yeah, early access to episode 169 has been available to $2 patrons for a while, and that has extended footage, a lot of it that you are definitely not going to see on this channel when I do upload 269. That's where, but right before we got suspended, 269 was set to come, and I just hadn't uploaded it yet. It is a very graphic scene, nothing sexual, but graphic violence. So I have to hone that down as well, because age restrictions not only have to do with sexual content, but also graphic violence. So I have to chop that down. But patrons can see the extended version of that. So gives you guys. So I want you guys to have perks for donating, but we do need your funding. So $1, $2, $3 goes a very long way. And we're making strides here. A lot of big things coming. So cross your fingers here. We're going to be reapplying. Maybe by the time you've watched this video, like I said, it can take a while, though, for that to process. So that's what I have for the update. Don't really have anything else to add at this time. Things to look out for. I'm working for you. Haven't stopped. If I owe you rewards on Patreon and you haven't gotten them this month, I think I've talked to everyone or messaged everyone. If not, let me know. Some of you guys are owed cumulative rewards. It's impossible for me to keep track of that. People have built up dollar amounts. There's just too many people. Like I said, I'm going to be emailing all of you cult members, official cult members who have funded us on Patreon. talking to you guys about some additional things. So thanks again. We will see you soon.